it's okay to get older, just make sure you don't look it. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about women and aging and everything that's going on with that for women right now. And Gen X women, we're sort of at a crossroads. The I heard somebody recently refer to us as the freshman class of old people, and I think that might be what we are. But we're now at the time as women where we're making decisions about how we want to age, and I'm talking physically, cosmetically right now, not particularly health wise or longevity wise. I I mentioned recently that I do appreciate the fact that we're seeing more older women in the media, in movies and television, etc. However, they are typically women who we knew when they were younger and they were stunningly beautiful, and they've been preserving themselves really well in various ways. So it's been okay to give them more visibility. It's been okay to have them represent us a little bit more in what we're seeing on our screens, as long as they look amazing and they don't look their age, and etc. And that's been celebrated. It really jumped out for me when Martha Stewart did the was it the Sports Illustrated cover? I don't know. She did some cover where she was looking stunningly gorgeous and beautiful and sexy and sexual, and it was wonderful. Everybody was, celebrating her, and it was focused on how well preserved her appearance was, which I'm happy for those women who choose to do that, who are able to do that. I mean, it costs a lot of money to maintain yourself in those ways. There are natural ways to do your best to preserve your beauty as best as you can. But how about celebrating a little bit more about just like what it looks like naturally, what it looks like without any intervention of any sort? And I'm being a little hypocritical in this because you'll see on my videos, I absolutely slap a filter on them. And it's partly out of vanity, and then it's partly out of just I know what works. I know what makes people watch longer versus shorter, and I know that if the viewer determines that what they're seeing is unpleasant, they won't view for as long. I don't know. So I'm very hypocritical because I'll do things, and I've had cosmetic surgery when I was younger, but now that I'm starting to see very blatant signs of aging in my face and my neck, and I'm really, really struggling with it. Now, I'm going to be 60 this year, so it's inevitable that I would have these. And for some women, even when they let themselves age naturally, they still look amazingly beautiful. And maybe they were stunningly beautiful when they were younger. And then there's some of us that we don't still look amazingly beautiful. As my jowls come in, as my neck starts to wrinkle and get crepey, as my skin gets more uneven and blotchy, I struggle seeing the beauty in that. And I'm reluctant to take measures to reverse it or to do something about it. I'm reluctant to invest, money into it. And so I'm sort of like at a crossroads, what's the line? Which way do I want to go? I If I had limitless funds, I could see investing a lot of money into maintaining my looks as much as I possibly can. But I don't have a limitless amount of money. And it feels like just putting like a little bit of money into a procedure that may or may not last doesn't seem very wise. It seems like the wisest thing to do is to grow into my skin and to get used to where I'm at and how I look, and learning how to maximize that as best as I can, and focus on my health and longevity, my ability to be mobile and to stay mobile as long as possible in my life should have a top priority. At the same time, it's not that much of an issue right now because I'm not out in the dating world. I'm not on the apps. So I'm not having to put myself out there and market myself for dating and relationships and stuff like that. So there's a freedom in that I don't have to like think of how I'm presenting myself to the opposite sex. But that may change. Like I may want a partner at some point, and so if I don't think about it and take care of it, is that is that going to make it more difficult to find an appropriate partner? I know there's all different kinds of opinions on this that run the gamut, all things about wanting to do something with our appearance based on the male gaze. Yes. And also wanting to feel good and feel like I look good and like what I see in the mirror. I don't know the extent to which my own gaze has been conditioned to look for a certain thing, and if that's the reason why I'm unable to find beauty in my softening jawline and the lines on my face and the wrinkles in my neck. You know, I don't know. I would love to just relax into it and just enjoy where I am. And I kind of think it could go that way. I could go in that direction. I could go in the other direction. I'm not sure. I see what happens to women who are online, whether it's just doing YouTube videos like this, or whether you're any kind of online influencer of any sort. Appearance gets ripped apart no matter what you do. Like if you don't do any intervention things to your appearance, it definitely gets discussed about how much you've aged, how much weight you've gained, or how much weight you've lost. You're either too fat or too skinny and not enough work, or you've had too much work done and you're doing too many injections, and whatever. There's just like criticism no matter what we do. I do wish as women we could support each other in our choices and decisions and not be so critical and not make it so difficult for each other. I hope we can get to that point. I think that when we lash out, when we do attack each other, it's a signal. It's a signal for what is going on in our own heart, how we're feeling about ourselves, our own fears, our own insecurities. So, uh, what if we just all like made a pact to relax into it and grow old together and celebrate our crone years and embrace it and be the modern elder women that we all are? I'd chime in on your thoughts. I'd love to hear from my Gen X sisters out there. I'm happy to hear from the men in our lives as well, but this video is really for the girlies. It's really for the women. It's really for us ladies, us sisters, to openly chat about it. I'm at a crossroads. I'm not sure which way to go. So leave me a comment. Remember to follow and subscribe to this channel. My name is Amy Palmer. I am your Gen X Big Sister signing out.